Delishees, grab a plate and feast on this week's delicious culture. I'm your host, Jon Francois. What a meal that we have this week. I know. Usually by Monday, nobody cares. Actually, no. Arguably by Tuesday, nobody cares about Sunday's Golden Globes anymore, but I don't care. Like on Thursday, you're going to get some Golden Globes chatter. It's the major, I'm going to say, Courtney, it's the major kickoff to the award season. I know Critics' Choice Awards happened first, but
who watches that though? Is that even televised? I don't even know.
It is televised, but where and who won, I don't know. But we're gonna just kind of make sure that the Critics' Choice don't get their recognition, and we're just gonna say Golden Globes is the first major award show of the season.
Absolutely, the first accessible award show of the season that is available to more people, because I clearly don't even know when the Critics' Choice Awards are.
Right. It was on CBS this past Sunday, and the Hollywood Foreign Press, they vote on what they think is the best TV and movies of the year. Joining me to talk about this year's ceremony, my good friend Courtney Hebert, right?
Hebert.
Hebert. Oh
Hebert, as in one bear, not two bears. Hebert.
Okay. And just to verify the spelling, Hebert?
Correct.
Okay, and that's French.
Yes, it is Cajun French, which means that you say it French with an American accent.
Okay, I'm ashamed because we've been friends for like 7, 8, 9, 10 years. I should know this by now.
That is totally fine. It happens frequently.
Yeah. As I told Courtney before we got on, I just woke up from a nap, so I don't know who anybody is. I don't even know who I am right now, but I will slowly find out who I am as we go along in this episode. But yeah, no, as I mentioned, Courtney and I have known each other for a while. So the way we know each other is we both did theater at the University of St. Joseph in Connecticut, but we actually both weren't in a production together. We just know each other by association of the same department. Yeah, no, our friend Cassandra, who did the K-pop Demon Hunters episode with me recently, was also a U St. Joseph theater alumni of sorts. And Courtney and I, in the meantime, our love of theater, we have seen what seems like many a Broadway show together. Carole King musical, Some Like It Hot, Kinky Boots. We've been to Connecticut. We've been to New York City to see shows. And I think we're seeing Shut, the corn musical, coming up next.
Correct. Next month.
Yeah, the Bushnell in Connecticut. That's going to be so much fun. So we love the pop culture. We love everything around it. So we thought, like, why not have a fun Golden Globes discussion? Now, Courtney, how long have you been caught up with like Golden Globes and really just like award shows in general? Because you told me, like, Jon, if you need any correspondent for like Emmys, Golden Globes, Tonys, like, I'm your person. So like, what's your relationship with this award ceremony?
Oh gosh, Golden Globes maybe not as long as, say, like the Oscars or the Tonys. I think those are the ones that I've been watching at least. Oscars and Tonys I've been watching since like high school or middle school. Golden Globes maybe sometime in adulthood, but yeah, I couldn't tell you how long. But anytime I'm at least available to watch them and aware that they are on, I definitely see them. So yeah, sometime in middle or high school, my mom somehow became interested in what movies were up for awards, as in like which movies were quality, which ones we should go see. I mean, like as a young kid, if it was up for enough awards, it was okay that it was rated R. We would go see it because it was quality and stuff. So yeah, I think that instilled in me an early appreciation of awards for films. That is to say, like, I am not so very Pollyanna about award shows that I am entirely beholden to their importance or think that like they always make the right decision or that there's not politics to it or anything. I just find it fun. And I feel like even if some things get forgotten or snubbed or something, the fact that these films have made it to an award show brings interest to them and, at least means like what caught somebody's interest is so basically, even if I haven't heard of all of the movies that have been at the Golden Globes, which to be fair, by this time of year, I rarely have seen or heard of several of the movies that have been to the Golden Globes, but this is a good head start ahead of Oscar season. It's like, oh, maybe I should pay attention to these.
Yeah, you bring up an interesting point because like there is this interesting relationship that the average person has with award shows, because I think it's very commonplace. It's very sort of try hard cool person to be like, oh god, award shows, they're lame and they only are there to self-congratulate actors and blah blah blah. But at the same time, I think we still live in an age where if you know of something as Golden Globe award winning or Oscar award winning, then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, there's like a certain marketing prestige thing
Yeah.
attached to this that makes me curious about wanting to see it. Like I go to Netflix. If Netflix tells me, oh, these are the Oscar award winning movie collection, it's like, oh, okay, Oscar award winning movie, Golden Globe award winning movie or TV show. That must mean that it has quality and I must love it. So let me watch it. 9 times out of 10, I like it. Sometimes I don't. So yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up, that like these award shows basically are telling people, hey, this is what's good. Actors, directors, producers, they do put a certain level of importance in getting them because it's essentially a way to get people to watch their movie, to sell more tickets, things like that. Yeah.
Well, and for me, it's like the entertainment business in general, movies, TV, theater, that is the part of popular culture that I share with other people. I don't care about sports, so I'm not like enjoying
Yeah.
football and baseball and things with other people in the same way. Golden
Mhm.
Globes, the Oscars, the Tonys, the Emmys, that's my Super Bowl, that's my World Series. So yeah, that's like the closest thing that I have to like that thing that we're all watching together because nobody watches things together anymore. We stream everything except for these big events, which maybe we watch or at least learn about all at the same time.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like the Super Bowl or NBA Finals, these award shows could be 2, 3, 4 hours long. You got to go through commercial breaks, but it is a nice communal national discussion, one of the few that we have left. So yes, you could liken it to a sporting event because everybody comes together. They're watching the same thing. They're talking about the same thing. So I totally get what you mean. And yeah, no, we have the Oscars doing the movies, we have the Tonys doing theater, we have the Golden Globes doing TV, movies, and now a new podcast category.
Podcasts.
I know. So I'm curious about your thoughts about that as we get
Yeah.
into it. But yeah, let's get into the Golden Globes of it all. First of all, I know the Golden Globes, they have a great reputation for being a more loosey goosey, a more fun affair. Like people have drinks, and a comedian is more likely, if they're hosting the show, like a Nikki Glaser who hosted this year again. They're more likely to get laughs in the room if people are kind of liquored up and there to have a good time. The Oscars and the Emmys for movies and television, they tend to be the more buttoned up affairs. So we already had that vibe going into it. What did you think about Nikki Glaser's monologue?
I think she's doing a great job in general. The fact that she hosted last year and was invited back again a second year honestly is an accomplishment. I find that award show hosts have a very hard job. You definitely want a comedian. If the comedian, it's like there's two directions you can go too far in. You're either a little too boring or you're a little too offensive. And you have
Mhm.
to fall somewhere right in that sweet spot in the middle
Yep.
to where you are just pokey and edgy enough without really insulting people.
Mhm.
And I think she is walking that line brilliantly. I think she's doing a great job.
Yeah, so I mean, personally, I'm not a fan of Nikki Glaser's comedy. I find her to be a nice personality in interviews, and um I know, from what I know, she has a particular style of comedy that leans on the roastier side. I know that the Tom Brady roast that she did is kind of where she like really blew up, and now she's hosting award shows and things like that. So I, as not like a big fan, I was actually pleasantly surprised. I really loved her monologue. I think there were a lot of like clever, pointed jokes, a lot of fresh takes on jokes that have been done before. And I just kind of want to go through them, starting off at the top, the commentary that she made. Well, not the commentary, but the joke that she made about like, oh, welcome to the Golden Globes, undoubtedly the most important thing in the world right now. Because number one thing in my mind going into this, as you know, there are some depressing events going on around in our world, very politically
Mhm.
heavy, from the ICE Minneapolis shooting and the things with Iran and Venezuela. And usually comedians can be topical in that respect and bring that up to a room of Hollywood stars in an event that otherwise is is really not that important, and just kind of poke fun at the fact that like, oh, here we are not really acknowledging like there are more important things. But Nikki referenced the fact that there are more important things going on in the world without directly referencing what are the more important things that are going on in the world, if that makes any sense, because
Yeah.
there's certainly a darkness. There's certainly a darkness of the things that are going out there on the world, and I know that trying to have sort of a biting, satirical, specific take on them at this award show probably wouldn't fit. So I like how she just started off right off the top, which is like, okay, here we are trying to make it seem like this is the most important event of the night, but it really isn't, you know?
Yeah. Agreed. Definitely. I thought that was a good take. Yeah, there's no way to talk about those things in a comedic monologue, really. So might as well acknowledge and move on from it. There were a few folks that like acknowledged what was happening in the world, but it wasn't easy to continue with that line of talking, understandably, at a awards show for entertainment.
Yeah. Did you hear about the and I think she had mentioned this in her interview with Howard Stern recently after the Golden Globes, but I saw this list on the Hollywood Reporter of the cut jokes from the Golden Globes, and I know that there was one about like Nikki joking about her arriving after a gig at the newly renamed Trump Beverly Hilton to reference to reference the now renamed like Trump Kennedy Center.
Sure.
And Steve Martin gave her that joke to give, and Nikki had mentioned that both her and Steve sort of agreed that it just wasn't the right tone, that if you just mention the guy's name at this point,
Yeah.
it's just going to suck the air out of the rooms. That was interesting that she noted that. And then she had some, let's see. So Chase
There was
Infinity. Yeah, go ahead.
There was a mild reference to the Epstein list without saying the word. There was like people on some sort of list, I think was the line, which I thought was another way of mentioning it. Yeah, that joke made it. But yeah, that was another interesting comedic way of acknowledging the things everyone's thinking about without saying them. But everybody still knows what you mean.
Right. Yeah. It's so I think maybe I can paraphrase it here, but it was like, oh, so nice to see many A-listers, and by A-list I mean a list that is heavily redacted. So yes, that's referencing the Epstein files, and I heard some laughs in the room. I did hear. I thought that people were going to kind of like tense up because obviously like we're dealing with some serious stuff behind the Epstein files.
Best editing goes to the US government.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. Golden Globe for best editing goes to the Justice Department. Yep. That was great. They cut to a shot of Glenn Powell's wide, charming smile. And I just thought, oh, what a contrast to the otherwise serious tone of the Epstein files. And then she like punched even harder and said, the Golden Globe for like most editing goes to CBS News. CBS News, where you can see BS News, and the fact that the Golden Globes is airing on CBS, wow, well, that was certainly a bold joke to make.
Yeah, I mean, really, I think as long as they can get away with it, I think it's in CBS's best interest to allow themselves to be poked fun at by their own comedians and shows as much as possible, because that lends them a sense of legitimacy and credibility. If people continue to believe that at least someone on CBS is going to tell the truth, even if it means making fun of CBS, then people will keep watching.
I wonder, because it might, I don't know, I feel like there's like a clear separation between who's controlling the CBS entertainment division that is in charge of running the Golden Globes and who's controlling CBS News. Because say if the Golden Globes was hosted specifically by CBS News, maybe there would be some more form of censoring like they did with that immigration story. But I don't know, I think because there still seems to be a decent separation between the entertainment department and the news department, maybe that's why we got to let that joke slide, and maybe the news just didn't pay attention as much to it.
Well, sure. And even like not on CBS itself, but under the Paramount banner, you still have a whole new season of South Park, like blatantly roasting the current administration, despite the fact that they have like basically canceled Stephen Colbert's show. It's like shortly after that, South Park really dug their heels in hard.
Yeah. You talk about Paramount, of course, along with Netflix. I think they're still bidding for Warner Brothers, and one of Nikki Glaser's other jokes. We'll start the bid for Warner Brothers at $5. I think that's still going on, right? I think like last I checked, it was like Netflix was trying to get Warner Brothers at like 82 billion, and Paramount was trying to like thwart their bid with like $180 billion bid. So I think I think that movie studio is still up for grabs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And the joke about like, oh, we're celebrating film and TV in the heart of Los Angeles, even though nothing has been filmed in Los Angeles for the past 6 years, referencing like COVID and the 2023 Hollywood strikes. So that was a brilliant joke. What now the joke about the podcasters, and I say this as a podcast myself. I think the joke went something like, "Oh, just like the podcasters, I should not be allowed to be in the same room as Julia Roberts." What do you think about the addition of a best new podcast category? I think personally it's silly because it's like, all right, you're on a mic and having a conversation, which can be
Mhm.
valuable, but comparing that to like the laboriousness, the visual aesthetic that goes into making
Yeah.
a TV show and movie, it's so freaking different. It just is so weird now, this concept of like, you could be a Golden Globe award winning podcast.
I kind of agree. I was having this conversation with several colleagues over lunch, and we were sort of like mulling it over in our heads. Like, well, for one, we think of podcast as equivalent to radio, which is not exactly correct, especially because podcasts are now video based,
Hmm.
or many of them are.
Yeah.
So, okay, fine. You can say that there's some place for them in visual media award shows.
Hmm.
Um, but still, I don't think that Golden Globes would be it, because I would still think of well, actually, correct me if I'm wrong. I would think of this more as podcast is like a talk show.
Yeah.
So I would think of them more as equivalent to something that goes into the daytime Emmys or
Yeah,
even the
sure.
regular Emmys, because we have evening talk shows. But like
Hmm.
the Golden Globes don't have talk show categories for television, do they? They don't have variety shows, unless those are some of the awards that are cut that are not televised that I now forget about. Because I know there's a whole section of Golden Globes, just like the Oscars, that they do days, weeks, some other time before, that are not part of the televised broadcast.
You have a good
So,
point. Like a talk show like a John Oliver or Stephen Colbert, or even a daytime talk show like a Sherry Shepherd. Yeah,
yeah.
they're not in the Golden Globes.
Yeah,
The
they'll
Golden
be at the
Globes.
Emmys. They'll be at the
Yeah.
Emmys.
Yeah. The Emmys are for that breed of like, of television, both scripted and the unscripted variety sort of talk kind. So I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're right. I mean,
So yeah, the Golden Globes is a weird place for it, comparatively.
it
Yeah,
seems like the Golden Globes is just primarily like very prestige, like scripted, polished, like fictional TV shows and movies. So
I
that's a
agree.
great point. I didn't even think about that. So podcast category, move your ass to the Emmys next year. My God.
I mean, I
Uh,
imagine that this has to be, um, maybe in a way more beneficial. Not, I don't know. The Golden Globes has to be getting something out of this, right? So the
sure.
podcasts that are up for the award are mostly podcasts done by TV and movie stars. So
Yeah.
in a way, that's the connection. But I would imagine that it's to the benefit of the Golden Globes to here is another medium in which there are our celebrities that we know and love and try to bring
Yeah.
into our award show. Let's make more connection to them to feature them on our show, on our award show. The same reason that like they've added the Cinematic and Box Office Achievement Award so that they can like have more screen time for the blockbusters.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That Cinematic and Box Office Achievement Award that going to Sinners. I mean,
You know, I'm
Sinners,
not mad
well,
about Sinners winning anything, honestly, but still, like the
yeah,
fact
me
that
neither.
the fact that that award exists, it was like, okay, fine, we'll have an
Yeah,
award for popular
because
things.
literally the majority of the award is, hey, you made a lot of money. You win something for making a lot of money. Like that's I don't know, man. It's just
And is that
very.
award just entirely math based? Is that award strictly like box office
It
numbers?
seems like it. I mean, they put cinematic in there to make it seem like, oh, like, but it's still like a great work of art. But we all know that like this is the Golden Globes way of saying, hey, like we know y'all come after the Oscars for not really giving credit to the popular box office stuff like an Avatar or The Dark Knight in favor of more like prestige, like 5-hour dramas
Mhm.
about I don't know, a disabled person or whatever it is. So this is what we would like to do. We would like to acknowledge that a lot of people went to see this movie. It made a lot of money. It's
Mhm.
popular, so let's give it its due. And I just, I don't know.
Well,
I don't, I have a problem with that.
I do think all of that is symptomatic of the struggle of award shows to stay relevant
Yeah.
and to keep viewership, because it used
Yeah.
to be back in the day, I feel like, I don't think I'm an old person saying this, that whatever was happening at the Oscars and at the Golden Globes, I feel like used to be a little bit more known and relevant to the general viewing audience
Yeah.
without them having to watch the award show to find out about it.
Oh,
There
sure.
used to
Sure.
be more things we had all already seen or at least heard of
Hmm.
going up for awards at the award show. Even if some of
Hmm.
them were like, a few low budget or a few indie things or a few stuff that like we
Hmm.
hadn't heard of yet. I think because of that, award shows struggle because people want to tune into award shows to, at least some people want to tune into award shows to see the things that they already like or the celebrities
Yeah.
they already know. And so it's to their benefit, to the Golden Globes benefit, to be able to say, hey, you're going to see more of Wicked and Sinners and Avatar on our show. So like
Yeah.
come and see the movies you saw and that you cared about, win something. Or maybe.
You make a great point because I feel like award shows have had a bad reputation of like, oh, here are again pointing back to the Oscars. I think the running joke about the Oscars is, hey, here are these 10 Best Picture nominees, and maybe like 8 or 9 of the 10 you have not seen. Like it's just a lot of like really like highbrow independent stuff that you haven't seen. So
Yeah.
you're right that the Golden Globes with an award like the Cinematic and Box Office Achievement with Sinners. A lot of people have seen Sinners. A lot of people, of course, have seen K-pop Demon Hunters. That won the
Oh
best
yeah, totally.
motion picture animated. So that's a good point that you bring up. Like, I think the Golden Globes, maybe there's a little bit of fixing going on there. Like,
Oh
hey, like
yeah.
we got these nominees, we got these very popular movies and TV shows that are winning because you've watched them, and that's going to give you a reason to tune in. Now, their ratings dipped compared to last year's ratings based on what I've seen, but still, at the very least, you'll have some buzzy YouTube views about these winners that we've all seen and know and love. So, yeah, it's definitely all about what attracts the most word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Going back to Nikki Glaser's monologue, so the joke about toward George Clooney, and I love George Clooney at these award shows because he's always a great sport. But saying that George Clooney is nominated for Jay Kelly, and like, oh my God, how groundbreaking it was that he played George Clooney in this movie. Have you seen Jay Kelly?
I have not. I have not seen, like many of the American viewing public, I have not seen very many of these movies.
It is, yeah. Nikki is so spot on. It is George Clooney playing George Clooney. He is an older actor, has been in the business for a while, and he is just kind of washed up, out of touch, and he's trying to reignite a relationship that he really never had with his daughter. I was into it for a little bit. My wife really wasn't. I fell asleep eventually. It wasn't my cup of tea. But yeah, no. If you literally watch Jay Kelly, you're looking at George Clooney, and you're like, "Ha, you're not stretching too much. You're just playing yourself. You're playing yourself." I didn't get this joke until I literally looked up its meaning online. Toward Dwayne the Rock Johnson, the Rock is nominated tonight, and lucky for him, the paper wasn't nominated too.
I did get that joke in the moment, and I was like, ha ha, that was lovely.
I literally was like, I was asking myself in that moment, I was like, is The Rock an executive producer on the Office spinoff The Paper? But no, it was a rock, paper, scissors joke. I didn't know. What did you think about Nikki Glazer's asides of like, I love you and I'm kidding guys at the end of almost every joke? Like, I thought it would have been better to just say up top before she started her monologue, like, hey guys, this is all harmless fun. I don't mean anything too much by these jokes, rather than go through a joke
Yeah.
and then to, I don't know, Kevin Hart, like, oh, I love you, Kevin Hart, I'm kidding. Cause I don't know, when you follow almost every joke with, oh, I love you, I'm sorry, don't worry about it, I'm kidding, it to me, it diminishes it. It just gives it more of a, like, you're kind of walking on eggshells. You're trying to be people pleasing
Uh-huh.
to the people in the room. What do you think?
I disagree. I thought it was a good tone. And I think it
Oh,
probably comes from her roast background. I do think that she did probably start the night by, at least on the red carpet, she started the night by, saying like, yeah, we're just gonna make fun of the people who can take it, and the people that can't take it will ignore them.
mhm.
But like she, so I mean, like, I think she sort of did what you suggested going into the evening, but continuing to do it throughout, for one, gives the impression that she is on friendly good terms with everyone, whether she knows them well or not. But it certainly makes it seem to us, the audience, like she does.
Mhm,
And really,
mhm.
that's the most important thing. I don't know that any comedic host is ever kicked off of an award show because they actually offended a celebrity in the audience. It's because they offended someone at home who thought she was
Oh,
either mean to the celebrities or offensive about something else. So
mhm.
I think by continuing to reinforce that this is all in good fun and reinforce that she actually has very warm feelings to all of these people, and they're like, haha, like a little bit of mean girl jokes, but it's fine and stuff. Like, I thought that was pretty good. I think that's part of what makes her palatable, as a host.
Alright. Good point, good point. Did have a joke toward, Jennifer Lawrence. I think the joke was like, "I asked the makeup artist if he can make me look like J-Law," and the makeup artist was like, "Honey, I don't think I can make you look like Jude Law." What did you think about that joke? I thought it was kind of strange 'cause I don't know, maybe this is just, personal opinion that may not matter, but, like, I find Nikki Glaser to be as conventionally attractive as Jennifer Lawrence, unless I read that joke wrong.
No, I agree with you there. I think the joke didn't bother me, like, as in it was easy to move on from, and it was one of
Mhm.
many fast jokes. But yeah, I did hear the joke, and I was like, that's kind of like a really old sounding joke. Like, that's
Yeah.
a very old fashioned, like, self-deprecating, you can only look like you're gonna look like a man because you're unattractive kind of joke. Jude Law's a very attractive man. But
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
it was kind of a Joan Rivers kind of joke, right? Like, Joan Rivers was very, like, roasty and also self-deprecating.
Oh,
Or,
yeah, for sure.
Phyllis Diller, like, that kinda stuff, like, women making fun of their own appearance. But no, you're right, it's like, Nikki Glaser, I think, is objectively hot, and so
Yeah.
I do think that, yeah, it's not a stretch, and that joke, yeah, I don't know that it was a sincere joke, if there is such a thing as sincere jokes.
I did catch Jennifer Lawrence's face. It's always fun to watch the celebrities in the crowd whenever, like, Nikki is directing a joke at them, some of them, you do get that facial expression from them where it's like, "Oh god, where is Nikki gonna go?" Like, this kind of nervous look. I did catch that from Jennifer
Mm.
a little bit, and they didn't cut to her reaction after Nikki's joke toward her, which always makes me think whenever that doesn't happen, whenever you
Oh,
don't
no.
see, like, the celebrity reaction, like, "Oh, did they not laugh? Did they take offense at it?" I'm not sure. Yeah, Jennifer in
I
particular. Yeah, go ahead.
I do think that if that there was a night to make this joke about J-Law being, like, ridiculously attractive and beautiful, tonight was the night to do it. Did you see her dress? She looked like she had walked out of the Garden of Eden. She, like, basically had strategically placed flowers and sheer. Like, it was like, "Oh my goodness," like, mother
I
of
did.
2, right? Like,
Th
let's
there was some Sirius XM show that I listened to that gave a reaction to the fashion stuff on the red carpet, and someone did not have a kind thing to say about Jennifer Lawrence's dress.
aw.
I did not catch the dress, but you
Bullshit, it was
liked it.
great. It was beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't it's not a dress that, like, I would wear anywhere in the world,
Mhm.
but if I had her body and was going to an awards show,
Yeah.
absolutely, it was lovely.
Yeah. Let's talk about, Nikki's, jokes toward, Leonardo DiCaprio. First of all, did you catch her, was it intentional when she introduced, like, "Oh, Leo DiCaprio's here from one man butt after another." She literally said "one man butt after another"
She said
instead of
one
one.
man bun, B-U-N.
uh, oh, I'm sorry. I thought
Yeah.
she said "one man butt," BUTT after another. Yeah. Yeah, Leo does have a man butt in one battle after another. Yeah. Did you
Yeah,
see that movie, by the way?
I did not. I hear it's very long.
Oh, god. Fantastic. You can still see it on HBO Max. It's a really
I'm sure
fantastic
I
movie.
will. I'm sure I will watch it at some point. I don't have anything against long movies. It's just like, man, between this and Killers of the Flower Moon, it's like, do some 90-minute films once in a while.
Right? Oh, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I think Leo did that movie with Marty
Martin
Scorsese, is that?
Scorsese, yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
mean, hey,
and
when Marty
PT.
Scorsese calls you up and says, "Come make a 3.5-hour movie with me," I wouldn't say no, but you
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
it's
And I know Scorsese and Leo, they've done what seems
bring
like plenty
back
of
the
those.
intermission.
Yeah, Gone with the Wind style. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
Gone with the Wind was like 5 hours long, and they had that intermission point
And
in
we'll sell more
between.
popcorn. It's a win-win situation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But no, Nikki's joke toward Leo, which I saw coming, which I could tell by Leo's face, he saw coming. Leo, you've worked with great directors, won 3 Golden Globes. You've accomplished so much before your girlfriend turns 30. That's a long-running joke. Leonardo DiCaprio, like I think he's like 40 something, going on 50 something, and he's always
Oh,
dating
he's
like
50
25 year.
something.
He's 50 something.
I think he's already hit 50.
Okay. And he's always dating like 25-year-old supermodels.
Yeah.
So that joke was made, and I was like, oh, yeah, whatever. It's a joke I've heard before. What I loved was the follow-up to it, which was Nikki being like, I'm sorry for that joke, Leo, but in my defense, we know nothing else about you. Like, the only thing I know about you is like a Teen Beat article from 1991, an interview you did with Teen Beat in 1991, where you mentioned that your favorite food was pasta, and more pasta. Like, you saw Leo go from like, all right, here comes the supermodel joke, to like, I saw his face start to warm up more and start to be very entertained more about
Oh yeah.
Nikki's
And then he like you
follow-up
could tell from
joke.
his face that it was absolutely true. He was like, "Oh my god, yes, I remember that interview. I totally said that."
Yeah. It was great. I loved it. It was a great twist on a very, I would say, very old joke so far. It is what it is. Like, whatever. Continue to make the jokes, but it's certainly not something that will like give me a big guffaw.
Yeah. No, I thought
What
that was a
about?
good moment.
Yeah. Sinners. Like, we were talking about Sinners winning the Cinematic and Box Office Achievement Award, and I know Nikki was like, Sinners saved Warner Brothers for a month, but like still, and they didn't cut to Ryan Coogler or Michael B. Jordan and the gang after that joke. So again, I wonder if they if they took that joke personally or not. But you saw Sinners, right?
I did. I loved Sinners. I thought it was great.
Yeah. And I know that the Wicked sequel got a joke for being a sequel made just for money. Now,
Mhm.
you've seen Wicked on Broadway.
Yes, I have.
Do you think that 1 and 2 could have been one movie?
Yes. However, I have an either or scenario here.
Okay.
I absolutely think they could have been one movie. When I saw the first Wicked movie, I was not upset that it was a movie on its own. Like, I didn't feel like it was too long. I didn't mind things that they had added to it. I thought that it went well. The second Wicked, just by virtue of being the second act of that play, was never going to stand as well on its own. It's a second act. It's more depressing. All of the fun songs are in the first act.
Yeah.
It's like, it was never going to be as much fun. However, I think they missed an opportunity here, or a few opportunities here. Honestly, they could have gone longer in the direction that I would go with this, because I think that by adapting Wicked from stage to screen, one of the things that it seemed like they wanted to lean on was this fantasy epic idea. Like, this is no longer just a stage musical. As a film, it's a fantasy film. And there was a lot more special effects and grandeur and things to look at. And I feel like they could have leaned more into the fantasy epic drama of the second act. That they didn't do. There's a lot more to the book, and I'm not a book purist by any means for any adaptation, and it's been like, I read Wicked before there was a Wicked musical, so it's been that long. Wow. But I know that that was like a decade's worth of story. There was like years and years that these characters went and lived in that book. And they really could have done that in the second act. They really could have leaned more on that and given it more depth, because like, it just felt a little bit depressing without depth and without actual context. It felt the serious parts that should have had gravitas felt rushed for the sake of getting to the next song. And I do not mind that songs were added, but they weren't really necessary. But I guess if you're going to have more of a, like I said, all the good songs are all the fun songs are in the first act anyway. I find it interesting that they wrote 2 new songs and put them both in the second act, and both of them are ballads. It's like,
Hmm.
can you just like, I don't know, can you give us something more? Like something more bombastic, something a little less draggy. Like those are both very pretty songs, and I understand you have to write original songs in order to be nominated for best original song.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah,
just
yeah.
lean on your existing musical. So those are my thoughts on Wicked. If I feel like if they were going to split it up like this, I was all on board in the first film. I just think they kind of dropped the ball on the second half.
Got it, got it. I remember Nikki saying like, "Oh God, 45 minutes left." Like what the like she was continuing to joke about it. And Ariana Grande, who was in the audience of the Golden Globes, seemed to take it in good fun. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Was she? I didn't see Cynthia Erivo
No,
or any.
Cynthia Erivo was not there, and I don't know why exactly. She's
She's
got other projects. I mean, I think I know that she did like Jesus Christ Superstar in London, but I don't know if that's still happening. That might be over. But
I heard that she's working on a production of Dracula on the West End, something
that
of
sounds
that
right.
nature.
Yep, she's got to be in England. That's what's happening.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, they mentioned on the red carpet that she wasn't going to be there that night, and they all said hi to her and love you,
yeah.
wish you were here.
Busy, busy, busy woman. And my last joke that was actually in the show, the joke about Paul Mescal and Jacob Elordi. Please keep being the same person, according to my mom. And that's something. And look, Paul, knowing Paul's personality, like watching him on SNL, watching him on the fantastic miniseries Normal People, like I think he's a more brighter person of Jacob Elordi, because Jacob Elordi I know from Euphoria, and Jacob
Hmm.
presents a really dark, dark, dark character in Euphoria.
Yeah, Euphoria
But
and Saltburn, which is basically the same character.
and he was a young Elvis in that Priscilla movie
Oh,
or
that's right, he is. I
show.
haven't seen that. Well, he's
Me
also
neither.
Frankenstein in Frankenstein.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Frankenstein's monster or Dr.
Monster.
Frankenstein?
Frankenstein's
Okay.
monster in
Okay.
Frankenstein.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, I haven't seen him in the Elvis thing because I literally saw Austin Butler's Elvis not so long ago. So I feel like that's the only interpretation of Elvis that I may want to see for a while. But no, I loved that joke because I didn't even think about it until now. I'm like, oh yeah, Paul Mescal and Jacob Elordi. What do you think about it? They do kind of fit a similar mold of like handsome, charming white guy lead actor. So yeah, I like it. I like it. But I know we mentioned one of the cut jokes that didn't make it to the final broadcast. Another one, actually, no, she had two about Chase Infinity from who's like the new breakout star from
Mhm.
one battle after another, and it went like this: Chase Infinity is nominated for Best Actress tonight, and Chase Infinity is her real name, and this is true. If you apply now, you can earn 5% cash back on all travel bookings through her through the end of the year. So get on that. I think that's a great joke. I think that should have made it to the final
I do too.
broadcast.
I think that's a hilarious joke. I
Oh my
do
god.
wonder if maybe there was a decision not to make fun of her in any way because she was just so
New?
new. And that was clearly I watched the red carpet for like the hour before this, and she was spoken to on the red carpet, and from there onward, like both me and my boyfriend who was watching it with me were like, "Aw, she's sweet. I love it when they're new and they're like so excited to be
Yeah.
there." And like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there was definitely that vibe about her. So I don't know. I don't think that the joke you just read was mean by any way,
Mhm.
in any way. It's like her name is interesting like that, but I wonder if there was sort of a decision. Let's not make fun of this sweet, enthusiastic girl in any way tonight.
Right, right. Yeah, it's interesting that you say about the like the new stars, the breakouts, and maybe like go easy on them, because I'm automatically thinking of the late comedian Norm Macdonald. He hosted like a Canadian version of the Emmys, I believe,
Okay.
and he made a joke toward this like 8-year-old child star in some movie or television show that was nominated, and it was kind, it was innocent, it was great, but I just remember they cut to a shot of this 8-year-old just having this like, okay, like you just had this like sort of clueless like, all right, I don't get what's going on, it's all these adults laughing at some kind of joke. But yeah, 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 it just made me think of that, just like these new breakouts, they're sort of wrapped up in the glow of Hollywood, or Canada's version of Hollywood, and
Yeah.
they're not really used to the industry so much where they can be poked fun at and also be aware of their surroundings, if that makes any sense. So,
Yeah.
um, this one was actually creepy, given that, spoiler alert, Chase Infinity, her character plays Sean Penn's daughter in one
Okay.
battle after another. This joke. Chase Infinity Payne is actually her real name. Chase Infinity Payne, which is also how Sean Penn gets an erection. So I think that was right to get cut. That would have
Yeah.
been,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, here's one. Some people have stage names like hack star Jean Smart, who won her umpteenth award for her performance in Hacks. She won a Golden Globe for that. So some
Mhm.
people have stage names like hack star Jean Smart, whose real name is Corduroy Dumbass. I can see why that was cut, because that just seems like a very like random,
Yeah.
slightly mean spirited joke toward Jean Smart for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah. It's funny, but yeah, no, I understand
Oh
not
no, you like
using
it. You like it. You would have voted for it.
No, I think it's funny. I understand why it was cut. Not for the Golden Globes with Gene Smart in attendance. That's like a joke for like Family Guy or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm,
Like where
mm-hmm.
Gene Smart's not actually in the room.
What was Jean Smart there to accept her millionth
Oh
award
yes.
for the
Yes,
show?
she
Okay.
absolutely was. Gene Smart was there, and Gene Smart was one of the few people, at least that I saw on live footage, that sort of acknowledged the depressing nature of the world at the moment.
Yeah.
It was more in her red carpet interview. She was more visibly distraught and saying it's like, it's lovely to be here and everything, but I really just can't turn off everything that's going on in the world right now.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
I know that people hate it when celebrities do this, but like, can we all just like do the right thing and love each other, that sort of thing. So it wasn't anything too specific, but she was in her feelings on the carpet. By the time she accepted her award, she sort of acknowledged that she had already said what she needed to say, but like, please, let's all just do the right thing. and
Okay.
moved on.
Let's talk about that, because there was a period of time, maybe this was like primarily during the first Trump administration, where it seemed like it was in fashion for the Hollywood celebrities to talk about the political state of the world really bluntly in their award show speech. And that went away, and now we're either having no reference or
Yeah.
very, very subtle, vague references. Like in this award ceremony, I know that the Associated Press covered Mark Ruffalo's little pin that he was wearing on his suit that said, I don't know, something "be good," which is like a reference to like being against the ICE enforcement. And you have Gene Smart's message that you had mentioned there. Nikki Glaser kind of putting out the CBS, or stands for CBS News or something like that. So what do you think about like that transition from like, like these actors are really, really, really getting blunt about what they stand for politically in their award show speech, to now just not having it so much anymore? Is it, I guess the pushback to actors doing that was so hard that they just don't do it? I don't know. I mean, maybe because they just kind of fed into this narrative of them being sort of like these elitist rich people that feel like they can comment about this when they should stay in their lane. Like, what
Yeah.
do you think about that transition?
I think that, and if we're just talking, there is a longstanding history of celebrities using their platforms to express their political views and who they support and whatnot. And there have always been people that are annoyed at them for taking the stance that is opposite of their own, whoever it is that's annoyed with them. I do think that in this particular instance, I imagine that in the first Trump administration, and even early on in this Trump administration, like maybe a year ago, that it felt you don't want to not stand up to what you believe is wrong.
Right.
And so, you say things. But I think that it has become so very clear that their speaking out has not mattered, has not
Right.
stopped the horrible things from happening.
Right.
And that the people that agree with them and that are, sympathizing with what they are saying, like already agree with them.
Yeah.
And the people that don't just continue to hate them for it.
Right.
It's preaching to the choir, and at the same time continuing to alienate the other half of the population.
Right.
And yeah, if in some way maybe worsening, feeding into the narrative that they are the Hollywood elite that is hopelessly left leaning, and why should we ever listen to what they have to say?
Yeah. Like Yeah, like, look at you with your private jet and your money telling me, like,
Yeah.
what are the right issues to stand on, like, who do you think you are? And especially, I mean, I believe the popular vote did go to Trump this time around, so maybe there was this feeling like, "Oh, shit," like, the majority of the country just kinda wants Hollywood celebrities to, again, so to speak, stay in their lane and just focus on their craft and not, quote, unquote, "lecture" us on their political
Well,
beliefs, so yeah.
and almost separately from what just the public wants, I imagine that it is increasingly depressing to talk about these things to no effect. It's like, that is a numbness that I come across in my own life. It's not that things have become less horrible, but we talk about them less in a way
Mhm,
because
mhm.
it's not helping to talk about it. And sometimes you just wanna have lunch and, go about your day, and I think that maybe, people are being more selective
Mm.
about when their speech is more useful.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
They're voting at the ballot, or they're going to a town hall, or they're going to some kind of private donation event, so there's other ways to do it other than a glitzy award show, so
Sure.
I totally agree. Another cut joke from the Globes, from Nikki Glaser's monologue. Brad Pitt is nominated for his role in F1 tonight. I have not seen that. That's like the race car movie that Brad Pitt did.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I have not seen it, but I'm aware of it.
Okay. Brad Pitt is nominated for his role in F1 tonight. See, that's what I love about Hollywood. When a man turns 60, he gets to play a race car driver. Meanwhile, after 35, every role for a woman is a tired mom who hates her life. And Brad, you are so good enough when I was almost convinced that you've driven yourself somewhere in the last 30 years. But Brad did a lot of his own driving in the movie. And Brad, I don't want to embarrass you, but your blinker was on the whole time there. So it's a long,
Eh,
rambling joke. I know
yeah.
the point that she was trying to make, but I also know why it was cut, because it was just rambling thing that is a version of what we've heard before. Yes,
Was
it's
was
definitely.
Brad Pitt there? I don't remember seeing him.
I don't remember seeing him as well, and maybe that's part of why it was cut. Is if Brad is not even there, then what? Then yeah,
That would
there's
be
no
a good
point.
reason to cut it.
Yeah, then you're just making that joke to camera, and it's not as effective. And lastly, I know why this was cut. Obviously, I'm hearing from the bar that we're out of ice, and we don't really need ice. And actually, I hate ice. Yeah, that's the kind of joke where it's either gonna get uh an agreement applause, or a awkward silence, I feel,
Yeah,
based on the dark events happening in the world.
right.
Yeah, so I'm glad that got cut, because that would have been a weird response. But anyway, to close out, like, what are your thoughts on those who were nominated, those who won awards? Anything stood out to you?
Oh gosh, let me think. I'm trying to think if there was nothing that I was particularly shocked by other than the addition of a podcast award. But
Yeah, Good
um,
Hang with Amy Poehler won, which, I mean, look, I
yeah.
love Amy Poehler from SNL, from Parks and Rec. Her podcast definitely has great vibes. I think that it's wonderful that she would won the award, if we have to have an award, because the kind of podcast that she presents is much needed in today's world, which is just, let's have just a nice, good vibe, positive, escapist conversation with one another. Let's just build community. So I give the podcast award to, like, the Webbies or the Emmys or whatever. But if we have to have a podcast Golden Globe, I'm glad it went to Amy.
I do continue to be confused as to what the Golden Globes decide is a musical or comedy because
Okay.
I'm trying to see if I can pull up the actual list.
One battle after another won for best motion picture, musical, or comedy. And on that point, I was confused by that, because, like, yeah, one battle after another does have its funny moments, but, like, there's a violent political revolutionary theme behind that movie that struck me as more of like a fast-paced, tension-filled drama. So I'm shocked that it wasn't in the drama category.
Yeah. And was it Sinners was in the drama category, right?
I think so,
It
I
was.
think.
And so I was surprised for that in a couple of ways, just because, like, following the Golden Globes year by year, they always, like I said, do something that makes you go, like, that's a musical or comedy, or that's a drama. What is this?
Right,
And,
right.
like, last year, it seemed like they were starting to throw certain, like, horror movies into the musical or comedy category. This year we have Sinners, which is both horror and incredibly musical.
Yeah, I
Like,
forgot.
it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
a musical. Like, I have all kinds of thoughts and parameters as to what I think is a musical versus a movie that has music in it. So, like, I
Mhm,
wouldn't call Sinners a musical, but it is certainly a heavily musically based movie.
mhm.
And so I was like, okay, continuing to surprise me, Golden Globes. Like, I mean, I agree. It's more of a drama than a comedy, but I don't know. I never know what they're going to put in that category, honestly.
Before seeing Sinners, the little word of mouth that I heard about it was that it was like a horror movie vampire musical, and I told that to my wife Tony, and and she was just like, "Oh, okay, I guess we'll go into it and see what happens. This is interesting." So yeah, I'm glad it turned out the way it did. So yeah, I think one battle after another won big that night. I mean, Tiana Taylor for her performance in that movie won Best Supporting Movie Actress, and that's no contest for me. I agree. She gave a very intense, selfish, sexually thrilling performance. It was just very layered in the best way possible. Paul Thomas Anderson won for Best Director for One Battle After Another, which was great. And someone, I forgot, I think it was a critic who noted like the interesting parallel between the interracial themes in the movie and his interracial relationship with Maya Rudolph
Mhm.
of SNL and of Loot fame. And One Battle After Another won Best Screenplay. There's one Best Original Score. Ludwig Göransson, who oddly enough was on Amy Poehler's Golden Globe winning podcast. The role of the music in Sinners, you know, a lot of people talk about it.
Mhm.
All I remember was like, oh yeah, there's like some haunting blues parts to it, but I don't remember it as much as I remember the Michael B. Jordan twins and the goriness of it. Like, do you remember much
Oh,
about like
absolutely.
how the music
The
stuck with you? Talk about that.
Well, so it's been a little while since I saw it. And it's interesting that you brought up that it won Best Score because I didn't know that. That's one of the awards that wasn't actually at the award show, unfortunately.
Oh,
They did not win Best Song, though they had a song nominated. I think so for one, the Irish vampires approaching the bar had sang a song that I know. So
mhm,
that song stuck with me. They were singing like a haunting Irish song. And the segment in the bar where the young guitarist and there's all of the people from the past, all of the different musicians from various generations and
mhm,
cultures and countries that are not literally in the room, but
mhm.
they're visible. I loved that sequence. And so like I felt like the movie was very much about music and music as a cultural thread through generations. So I enjoyed that a lot. I can't tell you that like I remember the music from the movie right now, but I remember being very struck by the music while I was watching it. And yeah, oh gosh, who was the very end, who was the actual like blues legend guitar player that was playing?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Not BB King. I think BB King
No,
is
it
dead.
was it was somebody that I was like, "Who on earth is that?" Because I know who that is, and it's like somebody that like I have a CD of that I got from my mom at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Let me look that up while I have it on my computer. Robert Johnson, maybe? Robert
no,
Johnson, blues, yeah, legendary blues
Buddy
musician
Guy. It's
Robert
Buddy
Johnson.
it's
Oh, is
Buddy
it Buddy Guy?
Guy. It's Buddy Guy.
Oh,
The very end of the movie when we see the young cousin guitarist as an
yeah,
old man playing in the
yeah,
blues club, it's Buddy Guy.
got
And
it.
it was just like it was as I was watching the movie, I could just tell that like that is a real blues musician. That is not just
Mhm,
some old man actor that they cast in this part. This is a real person. Like, who is
mhm.
that? And like when I saw the name, I was like, oh my God, like I know who that is. Like that's an important musician.
Nice.
Um,
I love that. Well, speaking
yeah.
of, best original song in a motion picture, that went to the Earworm, that is Golden from the K-pop
Yeah.
Demon Hunters. Yeah, yeah. Wait, have you seen that movie?
I have. I'm not mad about about it winning at all. So my boyfriend's daughter is 5
Oh,
and
perfect age. Yep.
she loves K-pop Demon Hunters,
Mhm.
and I think I had listened to most of the soundtrack with her a couple times, like, a long while ago, and then we had a sleepover like maybe in November or December, and we watched K-pop Demon Hunters because she wanted to watch it, or she wanted me to see it. And I was like, I was going to watch it anyway. But yeah, it was a good time, and I like it. It's good.
Yeah, it's a well done movie, and I'm glad that that there's some fine messages in the movie that have carried on. I could go without hearing that song. I think
really?
I
tired of it?
I
Or do you
just
not like it?
the chorus is so catchy and so ingrained in my brain that if I don't hear it anymore, I will be satisfied. Nothing against it. I mean, again,
Yeah.
well done movie, well made song. It's just, you know how you've heard something over and over again and you just kind of want to shake it like that.
Oh, sure.
That's
No, I
kind of how I
understand.
feel about it at this point.
I was going, but you have seen it, right? You've seen the movie, because I do feel like
Yeah.
the song, having heard the song before seeing the movie, I do feel like the song is better as part of the movie, or like it's more meaningful. It has more of a message that is relevant to the movie rather than just being like this pop song that is catchy enough and plays on the radio.
Yeah,
But I think all the other music in there is pretty good too. My boyfriend was actually saying, it's like, that's not even the best song from the movie. And I'm like, well, debatable, I guess, but this is the one that plays all the time.
Takedown, maybe that's a song that your boyfriend vibes with more.
Probably.
Yeah. Our mutual friend Cassandra and her husband James, they were on this podcast not too long ago, and we did a recap of K-pop Demon Hunters. So yes, we have seen that movie. The Pit, one of the best drama series I've ever seen. On its second season right now. They won best TV drama, even as like the second season has already started. The Pit for the past few months has just been winning award after award for its first season. Have you seen the show?
No, I have not seen The Pit. I've seen like several of the other shows, but that is not one of them. I've heard nothing but good things.
Yes, it's yet another medical drama, so maybe that might turn you off if you're tired of medical dramas. But I don't know. It's just really fast paced, engaging, tense. It's a good time. It's all the things wrapped up into one. If you are a fan, or did you ever watch ER?
I did, like not religiously, but I definitely caught a good bit of it back in the day, and yeah, definitely get the ER connection with Noah Wyle. And
Yeah. So if you like Noah Wyle, if you like ER, then The Pit is a nice compliment or bonus on top of that. But I loved how someone commented that the Pit is basically having its West Wing moment, because the West Wing, it came out with its first season in 1999, oddly enough the same year as The Sopranos, and that first season won Emmys like nobody's business. So they had like a lot of hype going on into their second season, and here The Pit is the same position. They had a much critically acclaimed, much award-winning first season, and now they're going into the second season as like the most buzzed about show ever. So yeah, we'll see.
I don't know if you ever watch, there's a YouTuber named Dr. Mike, who is like an actual medical doctor, that basically his YouTube show is that he reacts to medical things that are happening in TV shows and movies and says whether he thinks that basically that it's realistic, or whether he thinks that people are doing a good job at treating that wound or whatever. And according to Dr. Mike, The Pit is the most realistic and best medical drama, of all of them. So good, big words from Dr. Mike.
That's been the talk. The medical professionals have said that this show really gives you a raw picture of what it's like to work in a trauma center. So yeah, definitely recommend The Pit. And The Studio, I know another show that it keeps winning awards.
I gotta see that. I have not.
It's good. It's with Seth Rogen, and I think it is a brilliant, funny satire of the Hollywood industry. And then when you mix in the sort of goofy boy Adam Sandler-esque charm of Seth Rogen, I just think it makes for a good watch on Apple TV. So The Studio is definitely good. I think Seth Rogen himself won Best Actor, a Golden Globe for that show. You have Adolescence, that limited series on Netflix, which really deals with like incelism and teenage male rage. That is great. Have you seen that?
I have not, but I have, again, heard nothing but good things. I know people that have seen it, and I have.
What are you watching if you're not watching these things, Courtney?
Gosh, well, I watched several Severance. That was up for some things, but it didn't win. I watched White Lotus. I watched Hacks. I watched The Bear. I watched Abbott Elementary, Only Murders in the Building, Black Mirror. I'm like just looking at the TV stuff now and seeing what I actually do watch. But yeah, I watch all those things. And
White Lotus had a much talked about recent season in, I believe, Thailand, but I don't think they won anything at the Golden Globes, did they?
I don't think they did, but I was actually saying to someone that they were, and this happens to them every year, I think, they often have multiple nominees in the same category because they are such an ensemble show. And I think that right there is almost as good as a win, because as far as like publicity, if you are watching this award show, it's like, wow, that category had like 4 actors from the White Lotus in it. They must all be great. And they are.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah.
So,
oh, and they certainly are, especially Parker Posey. Parker Posey was great.
Oh, God,
yeah. So Noah Wyle won a Best Actor award for The Pit. Jean Smart, we already discussed, won for Hacks. I wonder if Jean is just kind of over it. Do you think she's over all the awards that she's won? Do you think
as much as I love Hacks and as much as I love Jean Smart, at this point, it does make me go like, can we like put a limit on how many times you can win an award for the same role? But the same thing happens to Maggie Smith every season of Downton Abbey. So I don't know. We can't make up that award now, I guess.
I feel like
that award limit.
Yeah, I feel like Julia Louis-Dreyfus had like a string of awards for Veep.
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin from 30 Rock, I remember he was winning every fucking year. So yeah,
and it's not that I don't think she deserves it. It's just that I want other people to have a chance.
Yeah, like you almost kind of want the Oprah Winfrey treatment, because I remember when Oprah had her talk show, she was winning that Emmy every fucking year, and then she at a certain point was just like, fuck it, I'm taking myself out of the category so I can let other people win. You know, because it just wasn't becoming fair at that point. I know Michelle Williams won a Best Performance by a Female Actor in a Limited Series for Dying for Sex. I don't know if you saw that on Hulu. It is like a dark dramedy about a woman. I think she gets like a cancer diagnosis, and she finds out that she's in a very sexist relationship with her partner. So she decides to like really go for it and have as much sex as possible while she's still living on this earth. I tried to get through a couple episodes. It wasn't my cup of tea, even though I love Michelle Williams from, Dawson's Creek, Brokeback Mountain, the Marilyn Monroe movie, all that stuff. But it sounds like you haven't seen that as well.
I have not. I'm trying to think of other things that I have seen. I mean, that's another one that I was like, oh, maybe I should add that to my list. Yeah, I think a lot of what I watched had like 1 or 2 nominations and like didn't win things. Like I watched Monster, the Ed Gein story.
Yeah.
I watched Poker Face. I love Poker Face. I love Natasha Lyonne, which is like, again, when Jean Smart keeps winning things, I'm like, oh, come on, let Io Adebri from The Bear win something, or or Natasha Lyonne.
Yeah, Monster, the Ed Gein story. What did you think about that? Because I know me and my former co-host Andrew were just like we kind of tore into it, and in a couple episodes we weren't big fans of it. Ryan Murphy did a great job with the Monster series about Jeffrey Dahmer, and I think there was another one that was
Menendez brothers.
The Menendez brothers, that was good, but Ed Gein just didn't work for me. What did you think about it?
I really liked it.
Oh, you liked it? Oh,
I did.
Wow.
I did. Right. Actually, I just finished it maybe over Christmas. Which honestly, I think it's a great watch for the winter because it's a very wintry show.
Yeah.
No, I liked it a lot. I thought that. So this is me not having like researched the accuracy really. I know that like the girlfriend character was kind of made up. But that's as much as I know. So in general, Ryan Murphy is one of those creators that like he makes things I like. And I am aware that like some of it seems a little opportunistically shocky and but it doesn't stop me from enjoying it. And and also it seems it's also things that are like in my wheelhouse. The fact that Ryan Murphy exists to create musicals and horror, it's like those are the extremes of my interest. And he somehow does both of them, and I love him for that, even though I hear he's kind of a dick. But Yeah, like, I don't know, back when he was doing Glee, like, he wouldn't, like, pay people for their arrangements
Oh,
of
no.
music, even though it was clearly, like, their specific arrangements of music that he was copying. But, like, no, he's a bit of a hard ass. Like, he is basically he's the guy that knows what the legalities are around making his shows, and he's gonna make his vision, even if other
Mhm.
people don't like it, if there's nothing legally to stop him. But no, I liked the Ed Gein story. I really enjoyed I wish there was maybe, like, a little more concreteness to this part, but I did really enjoy the touching on the continued influence on cinema and, like, on film, on Psycho, on
Really?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, on oh, what was the other one? Silence of the Lambs. Like, the fact honestly, like, I have not seen an Ed Gein movie before. I honestly don't know if one exists.
Probably not, no.
But there's a lot of serial killer movie coverage or documentaries or things. And Ed Gein is one of those that, like, remains a little bit of a mystery to me just because most of but he's inspired so many of these cinematic masterpieces in the horror genre. And
Yeah.
it was interesting to contemplate in one place the bits and pieces that each of those filmmakers took from Ed Gein because none of them were entirely Ed Gein or accurately Ed Gein. So, I don't know. I found that interesting. Honestly, that one bit about the episode that leaned heavily on Psycho made me go, "Oh God, Ryan Murphy, please make an Anthony Perkins biopic about him struggling with his homosexuality." But
Mm.
that would just piss off a lot of people anyway.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but I would love to see that show. Um,
Yeah, the cut to various pop culture references. So the accuracy of all that, if Ed Gein actually influenced those, that's been up for debate. I actually didn't like the cut to all those various pop culture references. I did agree with one critic that said that they wished for more focus on Ed Gein's relationship with his mother because that really forms a lot of like what he became.
mhm. I
So
thought there
yeah,
was a
no.
good chunk of focus on the relationship with his mother.
You know,
She was a little ever present.
I think there were moments where the various pop culture references took over. I think they could have done a lot more, but I don't know. It's up for debate, and I don't think it was nominated at all at the Golden Globes, was it?
No, yeah, the actor that played Ed Gein was nominated.
Oh, of course he
That's
was. Of course he
yeah,
was. Of course he
mhm.
was. So that's good. He did pull on a very convincing performance. So good for him. I do agree with that assessment. Yeah, no, I mean, you know, we've already mentioned Good Hang with Amy Poehler winning Best Podcast.
Mhm.
I know Owen Cooper and Stephen Graham for Adolescence. They won awards. Stephen Graham, I will say one last note. I've loved him since Boardwalk Empire, and he was also in a great show
Mhm.
called The Boiling Point. He's a wonderful UK actor, and just oh god, the emotional intensity that he gives as the father in adolescence. I mean, particularly the scenes, and I know I'm spoiling this for you, Courtney, but the scenes where he like finds out that his son is guilty of the crime he's being accused of,
Ooh.
and also like when his son has been taken away by authorities, and you cut to that final shot of Stephen Graham's character, the father in the bedroom hugging his son's pillow and crying like crazy. I mean, yeah, Stephen Graham pulls out a great performance. So I highly recommend Adolescence if I have not terribly spoiled it for you.
I mean, you
Uh,
kind of have, but I was gonna probably watch it.
all right,
It's
all right, all right. Awesome. Well, just erase what I told you, and you'll have a good time. You'll have a good
Eh.
time. But yeah, this was great Golden Globes chatter, and I would not be surprised if Nikki Glaser is called to host again next year. I think she did a wonderful, wonderful job. What is the next major award show? Is it the Oscars?
Is there something SAG happens somewhere in between here and
Hmm.
the Oscars? But yeah, the Oscar nominations haven't even been announced yet,
I thought
and
they
so
were. Oh my God.
are God, were they?
I feel like they were announced directly after the Golden Globes. I mean, let me see. I could be wrong. I think we're looking it up at the same
Yeah.
time right now.
No, they haven't been announced yet, just predictions.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha. Do you have any predictions while we're thinking about it?
I mean, the Golden Globes are always a good indicator.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I do
I feel
think
like
that
one battle after another is gonna win big at the Oscars. It seems like that's what the way it's gonna go.
yeah. Um, I'm curious to see sometimes the SAG Awards are a better predictor than the Golden Globes are
Mm.
for Oscar wins, but, it's always kind of a crapshoot. Um, Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to see more things. I do think that the Oscars will probably go in the same direction of trying to honor some things that were more popular than high art. So, like,
Mhm,
I am hopeful for, even though I think Sinners is a work of art also, I
mhm,
am hopeful for them getting at least some nods.
mhm.
I am quite curious to see. I hope that K-pop Demon Hunters wins Best Animated Film at the Oscars,
It probably will.
mostly just because Disney often has that category entirely shut out. Like,
Oh,
even in
yeah.
years where I'm like, surely this awesome animated feature will win somehow, whatever Disney has thrown into the ring that year is still
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah,
win,
yeah.
even if I don't care about it.
Yeah.
But so
Alright.
curious to see how that goes.
We'll see. The Oscars are gonna not be too far away from that. I think it's like the date has been set for, like, March 15th.
Aren't the
SAG
Oscars
Awards.
in like, is it March? Is it that soon? Why do I think it's
It is,
later?
yeah, yeah, yeah. They kinda go between March and April, but for the most part, it seems to be in March. Yeah, Oscars 2026, I believe it is in March. March, when is it? When is the
15th.
15th, yeah, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So March 15th, 2026, Sunday night.
These are
And I
always
think
on Sunday nights, and I understand why, but why do they have to keep me up past my bedtime on a work night? Like,
Yeah, because they intend to end at 11, but, some speeches go on a little too long, commercial breaks go on a little too long. The Oscars, I believe I think this is the last year or one of the last years that it's on a broadcast television network because they made a deal with YouTube where it's gonna appear exclusively on YouTube,
oh no shit,
starting May.
really?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're ahead of the game because broadcast television and the viewership is not what it used to be, so it
That's
makes
true.
sense, but, yeah, that is bizarre to think that, like, oh, like, to watch the Oscars, you need to go to YouTube eventually.
Wow. Wasn't there an award show or something on Netflix? Wasn't the gosh, what was it? There was something that
I know they broadcasted, like, the Mark Twain Prize award ceremony on Netflix.
something I can't remember what I'm thinking of right now. But
Yeah.
yeah, it does seem to be heading in that direction, which I'm not opposed to as long as people can access it. Do you know if the YouTube thing is like YouTube TV, or is it regular
It's
YouTube
gonna
that
be all,
anybody
like,
can
literally
watch?
all YouTube, it sounds like. So YouTube,
Okay.
YouTube TV, it seems like just yeah, and you can look up many Oscar clips on YouTube that has gotten millions upon millions of views, so I can understand the strategy of like, "Oh, well, this is where the majority of the audience is," especially the global audience, like,
Mhm.
let's go to where the audience is, so alright. Well, Courtney, thank you so much. This was a great, great, great Golden Globes recap. I can't wait to see what the other award shows bring. For those of you listening and watching, consume the delicious culture wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Apple, Spotify, or Amazon, SiriusXM, wherever you get your podcasts. Email me at thedeliciousculture@gmail.com with any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, whatever. That is, once again, thedeliciousculture@gmail.com. On social media, at The Delicious Culture, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Give us a follow, subscribe, comment, like, share at The Delicious Culture. You can follow me on TikTok at Jon Francois Presents. And Courtney, is there anything you'd like to promote? Your socials, anything that you're doing
Oh
that
God.
means
Yeah, I don't have no, please don't email me. I'm antisocial. But I
don't
am
bother me. Don't
I
bother
am
me.
frequently on another podcast called Yesterday's Matinee. In fact, we're recording tomorrow night for an episode on The Thing from Another World, which will be followed by an episode on The Thing 1982 one, whatever that
Starring
was.
starring the now late TK Carter. Yeah, the recently passed TK Carter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be recording tomorrow for the old one, and then we will record later for the 1980s one. But yeah, Yesterday's Matinee also available on Spotify and Apple and on Tim's Patreon if you can find it there for early access to episodes.
Love it. Wonderful. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Let deliciousness ring.